What is going on, guys? Evo here, and today I'm going to teach you how to tame the new Xiphactinus fish. It was part of the Arc Editions mod made by Garuga, but has been put into the base game, which is really exciting. And you're going to need a couple things for this. You're going to need some scuba gear, you're going to need a crossbow with some trank arrows, as well as some narcotic and some billboards. I would also recommend having a creature that can go both on land and in water. A Sarco is a great choice because of its speed. It can basically outrun anything in the ocean. So the next step is to find some Xiphactinus, which we've done here. They're usually pretty deep in the water, so you may have to search around a bit. And then what we're going to do is we're actually going to lead them up to the surface, so we have a bit more control over the situation. So we're just going to keep going up here. They're going to nip at my heels. They don't do a super amount of damage though, so you should be pretty good as long as you have a decent tame. Once you get your Xiphactinus into the shallows, it becomes a bit more passive, and then what you want to do is you want to place some billboards so it can't really swim around. So once we have our Xiphactinus trapped in the billboards here, we can start our tranking process. And they don't actually swim up in this scenario. I'm not sure why. They just stay trapped in the billboards, and we can trank them without any issues. Okay, and now that we have the Xiphactinus out, we can go ahead and throw in our Kibble. And its torpor drops very quickly, so make sure you have a lot of narcotic on hand, because you will absolutely need it. Now, the Xiphactinus needs a saddle in order to ride it, which can be crafted in a smithy and unlocked at level 55. It costs 50 cementing paste, 155 fiber, 290 hide, and 15 metal ingots. So it's not super expensive. Now, the Xiphactinus has some pretty cool abilities. The first ability is our left click, which is just a normal bite, everything that you would expect it to be. The second ability is our right click, which allows us to pick up creatures in our mouth as long as they are under 210 drag weight. Now, the cool thing about this is if we left click again while we are carrying a creature, we will trigger a third ability called Thrash. Now you can see we are making a huge pool of blood, and then we've just consumed that creature, and we get a buff because of that called Blood Frenzy, and this gives us a ton of health regen. You can see right there our health is going up super quickly. Now, on top of Blood Frenzy giving you crazy health regeneration, it actually also regenerates your stamina, as you can see right there. So it's a very strong ability. And if we aren't able to pick up the creature in our mouth, our lunge attack will instead apply a bleed and also give us a blood frenzy, which is extremely useful for fighting alphas and anything else that has a big drag weight. So as you can tell at this point, these creatures can do a lot, but there's even more. They are also pack creatures. You can see we've got the pack leader bonus on this guy here, which means they are even stronger as a pack. They do more damage and they take reduced damage. And there is one last thing that is super cool about these guys, is they can go on land and flop around. So once we're on land, there's not a super amount we can do. We can bite a little bit, but we can also press space, and that'll kind of lunge us forward. So if there's like a little piece of land in the way, we can just hop over the land and back into the water on the other side, which means we can do some pretty silly things like attack creatures on land, although we only have a limited amount of time before we have to touch water again. Otherwise, we will lose our Xiphactinus. And you know what, guys? I think that's actually going to be it for this one. Hopefully you guys have learned something. And if you have, remember to smash that like button and remember to subscribe as well, because it seriously helps me out. It really does. And yeah, have a good one. See ya.
Listen.